Africa, whose fault is it anyway? Let's look at it. Let's start from the historical context. Let's look at the things that has happened and things that we're going through from where we are now as Africans, whether we like it or not. And this will give me an opportunity to talk about what actually happened in Ukraine when the war started. I was the last person surprised when the war was coming and people were fearing for their lives. They put children and women on the train first. White children and white women on the train first. And then they excluded Africans. If anyone's gonna die, you guys can die. And Africans were surprised. And we were amazed. But let's look at it though. On what indices are you on top on anything in the world? As a matter of fact, if they want to look at us Africans, they see us as the highest liability indices in the world. So that was a stark representation of how the world views you. And I'm talking about Africans. I don't care where you are in the world. African American, Africans in Europe, Africans in South America, Africans anywhere in the world, no matter dark skinned, they're discriminated against. But whose fault is it anyway? Ladies and gentlemen, first thing we all have to learn is that the world does not owe you understanding. A lot of the things that we're talking about is on the micro level. That means as you as an individual, but then it applies to the macro level as well, because the macro level is just a collection of individuals. On every level, we're talking about finances. On the micro level, the African is at the bottom, and at the micro level, because like I keep saying, it's the same thing. Okay, so whose fault is it anyway? And you got to take responsibility for that. Okay, so we're looking at the things and we're saying that let's go into Africa now. Nothing is working in Africa. Everything that we need for our welfare, from cups to chairs to clothes to food, we can't produce for ourselves. But that's not where we started from though. We're now a continent that is completely we're a consumer continent. And that's not how we started though. But whose fault is it anyway? We can say, oh, it's the forces outside. It's the white man. That is like me saying, I am an addict now because the guy sold me cocaine and he sold me heroin and he's down the street. That's why I'm an addict.